Hey everybody, it's W. Mark Watts, and today I want to just simply share a little bit about my twin flame experience, because I definitely do think that I am in the midst of it, and I know from the various videos and the information that's on the internet now that it is actually a real phenomenon, and a lot of us are experiencing this now, obviously. And it can be quite confusing, because I know at this point it is very confusing to me. So hopefully maybe you'll see a little bit of your situation in my experience and understand that you're not alone, and that there are some things that are really working or at work in your life and the life of the other partner, your other twin flame, and that it actually is designed for a higher purpose. So there's no healing or anything going on here other than just a shared experience. And because I know that, when you go through things like this, you can oftentimes believe that you're all alone and that no one will understand. And because I felt that way, and I still feel that way sometimes, but being able to go out and talk with people about it and see the information on the internet, really being able to study and get a better understanding, helps me feel a lot better about the things that I've gone through. So just a little bit of a background on my story is I actually met what I come to know now as my twin flame back in 1993 for the very first time. And right away I knew, like it was almost obvious that I recognized her. And the strangest thing about it was we met at a business meeting. She was actually a customer that I was working with, and we had talked on the phone for many different times on the phone. And I had helped her out and done this, that, and the other. Never even knew or never even thought anything of it. It was actually my first job out of college. So when I met her, I saw her at a meeting. Her company came to visit my company. And when I saw her in the room, right away I knew something weird was going on. Like I was almost speechless when I saw her. And so that was my introduction into the very weirdness of a relationship being something, or maybe expecting or hoping that something would develop. And the weird thing about that was that we actually met in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where I worked. She actually lived in Phoenix, Arizona, all the way across the country, for those of you familiar with the US. And so that dynamic in and of itself made it pretty much impossible for us to really have a relationship. And so she was in town for a few days, and once that concluded, we pretty much went our separate ways. And I never will forget that feeling that I had was just kind of in awe. And like, if I could have married her right then at that moment, I would have. But I was so confused by just the way that I felt about someone that I didn't even know, that it led me to have to go to some of my buddies and talk with them about it. So we'll fast forward on. We go our separate ways. We have very little contact over years and years of time. Eventually, she got married, I got married, and started families. And ultimately, what happened was we both ended up getting a divorce. And then we'll fast forward a little bit farther along down the timeline. One of my good college buddies lived in Detroit. He was doing his residency there. And so I would come to visit him. And she, around that time, had moved back home to Detroit, which is where she's from. And never even knowing that we were only a few miles apart when I would be here in town to visit. And then ultimately, after we had both divorced, we came across each other, our paths crossed, and we decided to go to lunch, which turned into a dinner, which turned into us being together for 12 years, which brings us to the present moment right now. And then the weird part about it is about a year and a half ago, pretty much everything in I won't say, it was a typical relationship. With some of the ups and downs, but by and large, it's been a wonderful relationship. So I want to emphasize that it's been an excellent, wonderful relationship. We both have learned a lot of things along the way. We've grown together. Our kids have grown together. So it's been a really great experience, which makes it even more crazy when about a year and a half ago, out of the blue, she pretty much just needed to take a time out, just needed to, like, no communication, no talking, no anything. And and that was tremendously difficult, because the piece that I may have left out is that 7 years ago, I packed up and moved from down south to Detroit to basically expand this relationship and to see what might come of it, if it's really going to be, if we're going to get married or not, and live our lives together for the rest of our lives, etc. And we had done such a great job up until then. We were moving toward that fact, and when she just went away, boom, just like, no warning, no words, no explanations, no nothing. She just pulls away. So, literally threw me into a tailspin, because this woman that I had, moved for, we have such a great relationship, and we had started planning the future together and all those things. And then all of a sudden, just boom, out of nowhere, she just disappears. And, we can't talk. There's no communication. So we moved through that process. I think that lasted about maybe 4 months or so. And we got through that and started working and building and really seriously talking about marriage and seriously planning our future again. Then all of a sudden it happened again, which brings me to the present moment, which is where we are now. So I've come to learn that that's called separation. And I've come to learn that that is something that happens with twin flames, because there's so much merging. There's cords that connect the chakras, and you guys may have to do more research on that. I know I definitely am. But basically our energies are merging. And when that happens, the frequency that we resonate at together it becomes muddled, because there's things that need to be released in each of us. And until we release those things, those beliefs and those habits, then we can't ever come to what's called union. And so it's a process, and it's a healing process. And again, this time things were going really well again. We were on track. We were spending time together. We were communicating, and then boom, I noticed the separation signs coming again. So I brought it to her attention, and sure enough, it turned into another separation. And by that time, I'm really confused, upset, just don't have any clue what's going on. And so that's where I am right now. And so I decided to start this channel and called True Love Warriors. And because I know ultimately the end game, the thing that I'm really after and really concerned about, and I know Spirit has talked to me about it, is being a true love warrior and really doing what it takes to get to that true love place. Now, by the way, I didn't know anything at all about twin flames until she and I started dating, and we went to a spiritual advisor in the area here, and she was the first one who mentioned that to us. And that was years ago. That was maybe 10 years ago when we were introduced to that concept. And at that time, we just thought it was such a great thing. We didn't know the full ramifications of what being a twin flame is all about, and that we would eventually have to go through this place, get to this point. And because I'll be honest with you, if I had known that, I probably would have had a whole different take on the twin flame journey. But that's neither here nor there, because guess what? I'm here, I'm in it, and now I have to decide, or have to figure out, though, what things I need to work on. What do I really need to heal? Because we're at that place where we can't be together until we heal what needs to be healed within each of us. And I don't know how to really know that. I have some clues. I think she may have some clues. But, without being able to, no communication, I don't really know what's going on. So it makes it a really crazy process. And I've watched a lot of different videos with various other people who are in this separation stage and or have met their twin flame. and know some of their stories. So I just felt like I wanted to add mine, and maybe hopefully someone will watch and see that yes, this is a real phenomenon. I'm seriously that I believe in it. And the craziest thing or the weirdest thing about it is you have to let go and surrender as part of the process. And that's something that I'm just now looking at and honoring and trying to figure out how to really do that, because I've spent 12 years, really building this relationship and really connecting to a point where you don't want to separate and really, I guess, surrender, if you will. And now I'm being forced to do that, which is probably one of the things that I needed to work on and to heal on in various different aspects. So I'm going to and have been working on those things and those angles and praying and as well as praying for her to see if I can heal those things. And I think that she's doing the same thing. But here's the key. You never know where this might end up. You never know what exactly is going on, because it is such a new phenomenon. And so I just wanted to share this video. I hope that when you watch it, maybe something resonates with you. You know that you're not alone. It is a process. Things do happen, but ultimately, I think the end game is, we're chartered. We agreed to come here to have this experience so that we can help others, because it's my understanding that the earth is under a shift and an upgrade in the frequencies. And so there will be a lot of people that will be going through situations, relationship related, just in general, just for their own spiritual awakening, that once we develop and get to the point where we can unite, we get to that union phase, we're chartered. Our mission is to help others come through what we've come through. And this experience will allow us to do that in a much more compassionate, unconditional, loving type of way. Now, I am, again, very new to this, learning this as on the fly. It is definitely scary. There's no parachute that I have right now. But I think the part of the goal, again, is you have to trust. You have to really have the faith and the belief that what you're doing is right, that you're on purpose, and that there is a bigger picture. And even though I don't understand it or see it right now, that there is more to this thing. And if I hang in there and do what I'm supposed to do, then eventually the answers will be revealed and things will work out the way they're supposed to work out. So I just got to trust. So I'm asking you that if you find yourself in that situation where you feel that this person is your twin flame and it is painful and there is separation and there is confusion, just know that you're not alone, and that if you will start to look inside and get the help and the assistance that you need, because there are people out there that will help you, can help you through this stage, as well as, constant prayer, going to God or Jesus or Source or the angels or whatever you think your higher power is. If you will engage your higher powers, you engage the assistance that you need, I think that you will get through the process, and whenever that is, and you will reap the rewards on the other side, and you'll reap the benefits, and so many other people after you will reap the rewards and the benefits too, because you'll be able to help them. So that's all I have for you today. Just stay tuned to my channel. I'm going to continually give updates. I know the month of August, there's a lot of shifting and a lot of frequencies coming. I know we've got full moons, eclipses, and I know there's a lot of shifting going on in the month of August. So I'm very curious just to see what's going to happen in the month of August 2017, because, hopefully there'll be some shifting going on in my situation, and we'll see where the day takes us. So just stay tuned to the channel, subscribe. I'm going to be doing more of these videos, and then we'll just see where we end up. Oh, by the way, if this video resonates with you in any way, share some of your stories in the comments below. just let me know that you're out there. Maybe you're going through some of these things and just kind of how you're feeling. And maybe we'll walk this path together and get through it together. All right. It's W. Mark Watts. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all later. Peace.